Good evening, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to another episode of Critique Corner with me, Daniel Parker.
And me, DB Fastbinder. And, I often say that we have a very disparate show in store for you tonight, but man, there's like nothing to unite these together.
No, there is not. Gritty crime drama and classic 80s family comedy. Yeah, there's no. Yeah. But as
But
far
that's
apart as
okay.
you can get, yeah.
But
But yes, if you're returning, welcome back. If you're new, what we do is we critique stuff from our corners, and we usually do something new or classic with something older I'm sorry, I messed that up, didn't I? Newer contemporary pair with something older and classic. There we go.
Yep. Or at least something older. And if it isn't a classic, we can have some fun making fun of it.
Yes, indeed. And this week we actually succeeded in finding something really new.
Yes.
Uh,
Daniel, let her rip.
yes, the rip.
The rip. Which is a bit of terminology that I do not believe they ever actually explain in the movie.
I don't believe they did. No. Yes. This is a Netflix original movie starring Matt Damon.
Matt Damon?
and his old buddy Ben Affleck, amongst a cast of other actors. They of course playing. I gotta look up their. I gotta look at their character names.
Lieutenant Dane Dumars is Matt Damon,
Yeah.
and Ben Affleck is Detective Sergeant J.D. And then
Byrne.
it trails off.
Yeah, J.D. Byrne. I think that's right. Byrne. Yeah, Byrne. Yeah. Yeah, and they play a couple of Miami narcotics cops, and they work on this tactical team that goes around and busts all these different drug spots throughout Miami. But they have a situation because the inciting incident, their captain, who's a woman, Jackie was her first name. I can't remember what her last name was. Jackie Velez. She's on the phone with a woman. A young woman. We don't know who she is or what's going on. But then she pulls off, and then she gets ambushed and shot. But just before she dies, she sends a text message to somebody and tosses her phone into the water. And of course, we cut to Damon and Affleck and the rest of the team dealing with this, dealing with the fallout. And they're being interviewed or interrogated by a couple of FBI agents. One of them is FBI agent Del Byrne, who is Ben Affleck's younger brother. He's played by Scott Adkins, who a little bit of trivia. Scott, for those of you who don't know, Scott Adkins is a British actor. He's also a big martial arts guy. And if whenever this was, like 10-ish years ago, 12-ish years ago, he actually auditioned to play Batman in the DCEU, but he didn't get the part. Instead, they gave it to Ben Affleck. So now they're playing brothers in this movie.
And that isn't the only DC EU connection there.
Right. Yeah. So,
but we'll hit that character in a minute.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So as they're dealing with all this fallout, and then Damon sees the text message that he got from the captain talking about this stash house, and he gets the location. Even though they're told they can't do anything by their superiors, they still go out and check on it anyway. And of course, during the whole thing, Damon is Damon's acting very cagey during this whole during the whole thing, and he all the different members of the team ask him like, well, how much money is in this stash house? And he always he tells each of them a different amount, and there's a reason for that.
Yep. And let's see. All right. So get there, find the stash of money.
Yeah.
Now you had some issues with the amount of money they quoted.
Yeah. So they show up at the house, and the other DCEU connection is the young woman who's living in the house. It's her grandmother's house, and her name is Desi, and she's played by Sasha. Was it Calais or Callie?
Probably Kaye, I would assume.
Kaye, okay, Kaye. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and she was Supergirl in The Flash.
Which, if you haven't seen her before, well, not a lot of people went and saw The Flash actually, so that tracks.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so they go in, they find the money, and the money's in all these like buckets, like Home Depot buckets, and they're looking at the amounts. They're like, oh, there's like $20 million in here. I'm like, no freaking way.
Right.
No freaking way. There's $20 million in there. Maybe two. If you pack it really tightly. Yeah.
Like maybe if they like used some sort of air compressor to suck it out, like suck all the air out, but that is not what we were looking at there. They were pretty compressed down, but still.
Yeah. I mean, they take out one little packed up stack, and it says 150K. I'm like, it's maybe 10. Like, come on. Like, by the way, this isn't the only Hollywood movie that has ever pulled this. I mean, like every movie in Hollywood does that, where they don't understand just how much space cash takes up. A lot of cash. Like, they don't like. You have a movie where they open up the briefcase. It's a full. This little briefcase full. With stacks of cash. Here it is. $5 million as we agreed to. Like, that's not $5 million. It's not even $50,000.
Maybe if they had a whole bunch of those old school $1,000 bills, they could get somewhere like that. But
yeah, maybe, yeah. But
yeah, anyway, no, it's kind of silly.
But yeah, the rest of the movie is basically just them. Number one, they got to count out all of the money, and then figure out like, okay, well, who owns the house, or whose money does it belong to? And they get this whole other subplot where there was this group of law enforcement guys who were going around these stash houses and stealing money, and they're trying to figure out like, well, are they involved somehow? And none of the cops trust each other, and
right. If this was an ongoing TV show, this would be the bottle episode where almost the whole thing takes place at the one house.
Yeah,
very claustrophobic. Everybody's very untrustworthy, and they have quite a few twists and turns on who's actually who is on whose side.
Right. Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
I think that as far as like actual plot details go, that's as far as we can get without getting into spoiler territory.
Yeah.
Since my overall take on this is that this is a perfectly okay movie. I can see why they didn't try to put this out in theaters, to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah, I can see why I understand that too. Yeah, because it's a serviceable enough movie. And there are worse ways to spend a couple of hours of your time.
Right. And Affleck and Damon talked about this, where it does kind of follow the Netflix mandate where you have to be able to follow the movie while looking at your phone.
Right.
Because they do narrate parts of the plot pretty often.
Yeah, and now that not that they pointed that out, I'm not going to be able to unsee that on anything from Netflix ever again. Like, I'm
Right.
gonna
It's
be
almost
spotting that for the rest of time.
right. It's almost more refreshing when you find something that doesn't fit that requirement.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, perfectly serviceable. I'd call it like a home or not a home run. Excuse me. It's a single.
Yeah.
Um, I would say it's of similar quality to Ben Affleck's The Accountant.
Mm.
Kind of a similar vibe to it.
Yeah.
It's much
Yeah.
less silly.
Oh yeah. 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 Ben Affleck's not hitting anybody with his belt.
Right. He's not beating himself for sensory deprivation or whatever,
Right.
or
Yeah.
sensory stimulation, I should say.
Yeah.
There are a couple of twists and turns. I think if I'd been more engaged, I would have probably seen the ending coming, but it was just kind of all right the whole way through.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. Yeah. Yeah.
No bad performances. Well, okay. I don't. So this script was very plain, is the way I'd put it. Like the dialogue wasn't very clever in most places. There were like a couple of bits between Damon and Affleck that made me chuckle a little bit, but
Yeah.
um, the other detectives on the squad, boy, they just kind of came off as like very reductive stereotypes.
Yeah. Yeah. They did. uh, yeah. Even the Asian one.
Right? He actually had a storyline, or a
Yeah.
key part of the story. Um, so I think that we're giving it a narrow recommend. Just like there are better things to watch on Netflix, but yeah, if you want something to talk about at the office, this was number one its opening weekend, so
Yeah.
it's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit of spoiler talk.
Yes.
I find it just so funny how predictable Netflix is.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking to myself halfway through the movie, there's no way they're gonna have the black and Latina cops be dirty on this. Like that's are they sticking to that? That's wow, that's surprising.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
answer was no.
No. Yeah. No. They didn't. Yeah. Although they did a pretty good job of trying to make you think that maybe they would.
Yeah, like they did a pretty good job of swerving the plot a bit.
Yeah.
Um, th- at, and they managed to take a detail of Damon giving everybody a different number, making him look shady,
Yeah.
and when it's actually it's a classic leak finding procedure where it's like, somebody in my organization keeps talking to the press. I'm going to tell everybody a slightly different thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And in this case, it works for him. Because he tells the Asian detective is played by Steven Yeun, who most people remember from The Walking Dead. He was also the voice of Keith on the Voltron remake. And he's also the voice of Invincible on Invincible. Actually, he's probably more well known for his voice acting than his regular acting. Now that I think about it, but yeah, and spoiler, yeah, it turns out that he's the one, he's the dirty one, he's the bad guy he's working with the bad guys to take the money.
Yeah, I will say that they managed to make everything pretty plausible because the actual guilty party shows up with way too small of way too small of a team for an operation like this. He says, "Hey, I don't have the budget." It's like that sounds plausible on the surface, but
But I mean, but it's like, yeah, but you got $20 million in cash. You might want to have you need like an army of people, like, to handle that.
yep. They also do a good job of really making you think that Matt Damon's character is dirty, and they really like give you a solid motive for why he'd be dirty.
Yeah.
Because he was still paying off the medical bills from his child's death. And they just
Yeah.
went out. Everybody in the squad had money issues of some sort or another.
Yeah. The Latina detective was a single mom. I think even Affleck was having money issues, and
Right.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, and they even kind of get into that a little bit, where these, because cops, by and large, like depending on what jurisdiction they work in or what job they do, they really don't get paid as much as they probably should be being paid. Um,
Yeah, it did remind me of an old strategy. Like, maybe the reason that government employees are so overpaid is to take away uh, the desire to take bribes.
yeah, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, but
It's necessarily effective, but it's a strategy.
it's a strategy, and yeah, and of course, you'll still have the odd person here or there who'll take a bribe, no matter how much you get paid. But yeah, and they did a pretty good job too of Damon kind of playing the situation out to to find out who the mole is, and catch him in the act, so to speak. The other thing too I thought was kind of funny was they're counting the money out in the garage,
Yep.
and the garage is full of old like phone books. Which, DB, when was the last time you saw a phone book?
Probably at least 10 years ago.
Yeah, I was 10, maybe 15 years. Yeah, it's been a long time. So it just very
Right. They did like establish that Kaye's grandmother had been a hoarder. So
yeah. But yeah, just lucky for them that they had those phone books, because it came in handy for them during the climax.
and a car that had enough gas to get somewhere.
Yeah. uh, but what else did I say?
Yeah, I would say like I don't have a whole lot to say about it because it's just a single. They didn't strike out, which would have given us some more grist for our mill, but it's just an entirely ordinary action movie,
Yeah.
which sometimes that's fun.
Yeah.
You don't always need to have like a deep plot or Oscar-worthy performances or things like that.
No, you just need something to occupy your time for a couple hours. Yeah.
But those police officers were at least voluntarily working uh, for the city. They
Yes.
weren't sentenced to be a hero.
Yes.
So for the first time in a bit, we took a look at some seasonal anime.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done that. And of course, your discovery of this particular anime is pretty funny.
Yeah, there's this YouTube channel I'm subscribed to called the Anime Boys, where they'll do a bridge series for various things. I don't usually watch the full episodes, but they make a lot of funny shorts. If you've seen the Solo Leveling parody, Sister Leveling, where his sister is just super into him, that's them.
Yeah.
For this one, they that they have the main character Zolo Forbarts on trial. You and your heretical concept of an age of consent, and you will be now sentenced to be a lolicon. No, she's not thick at all.
I want her to have big boobs and a fat ass.
So So when I first saw that, I thought to myself, okay, what kind of generic isekai slop is this going to be? I guess I'll give it a go. Then I'm watching in the first 10 minutes, I'm thinking to myself, is this a series that just jumped right into the action?
And
I
it
mean,
basically does, yeah.
is that allowed?
You,
So
you, yeah. You don't have some kid who gets hit by a bus.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I would say that Zolo is one of the stronger points of the show. He's kind of a standard, like almost throwback hero to like what you would have seen in the 2000s, kind of like
Yeah.
like Van from Gunblade or Gunsword.
Yeah. Or
Just
or Guts from Berserk.
yeah, right, like he isn't quite like either one because he's friendlier than Guts, or less hostile than Guts. No, they're not by much, and he's definitely less goofy than Van. But it's like
Yeah.
it's a style of anime protagonist you don't get as often anymore because usually you don't have a main character who's older than 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it's an immediate media res. The young boy here, Dota Luzulas, is has impulsively stolen a coffin in the midst of a raid of giant fairies, who they're called fairies, but it's more like it's almost like the virus from Left 4 Dead, where it just it infects a body and just morphs and mutates it in horrible ways.
Yeah, and it does it to like all kinds of animals and various creatures. Yeah, and yeah, they call it it's called the demon blight, and and all the demon blights caused by these different demon lords, and they number and name them kind of like the angels from Evangelion.
We're on what number 13 is invading right now.
I think that's right. Yeah. Yep.
And so so the opening sequence, we get some really nice action. Our main character, our Dota is saved by Xylo, who has this power that lets him, like, he can jump great distances and he can throw exploding knives.
Yes.
And I gotta say, like, one of the major focuses of this show is the action. And what I found out when I looked into this director here. Let's see here. Where is IMDb? You're failing me. Because it shows the creator, which I'm assuming is the light novel or manga it's based on.
Yeah.
Country of origin.
It's a Katakawa does the animator, right? Is the studio?
Also, Studio Kai. I think Katakawa is more like the parent company.
Okay.
Studio Kai actually, as soon as I looked them up, they've done. They did the second two seasons of the Uma Musume anime of all things, with season 2 being their first major production, from what I can
Oh
tell.
wow. Oh wow.
So that the director who, sorry, I should have been better prepared for this.
Right.
Basically, he is one of the people behind One Punch Man, and I think like the anime, and I think I know the episodes and scenes that he would have done, because this series has a very rough line work. It's a type of thing that would not have really been possible before the advent of digital animation,
Yeah.
because with traditional tools you would not be able to maintain it well enough. But and One Punch Man, the first season was like Studio Madhouse getting together all of the greats of the anime industry to make this one amazing production. And I think I can even imagine some like which scenes this director would have been responsible for just based on his art style. I think it was like the giant. I think it would have been the giant guy who got mutated.
Yeah.
like the top of his head missing or whatever it was. It's been like 10 years since I saw that, but some of the scenes stuck out because like the action in this is really amazing. Like it isn't always constant motion, but they know how to use the animation they have very well.
Yeah. And the some of it's CG animation, which can look kind of rough sometimes, but here they do a decent job with it.
Yeah, and so you very quickly. Sorry, the IMDb is currently playing scenes from the episode, and I'm distracted by how pretty and actionful they are.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so our heroes discover that. Well, first off, we discover about our heroes that they are not exactly here voluntarily. It is basically a Suicide Squad situation.
Yes, the term or title hero has a completely different meaning in this universe than it does in every other universe that's in existence. Yeah, they're basically criminals who have been sentenced to an eternity of fighting constantly. Service. Yeah. And it's also implied too that when they die, that they go to hell and then get brought back. And each time that happens, they lose some of their memory and some of their identity, because there's a character in there where he's just like there's nothing going on upstairs.
Complete space cadet.
Yeah. But yeah, so Dota, he in the beginning, he steals this coffin, and inside the coffin is this little girl who happens to be a goddess. What was her name? Teriorita. Teorita, yeah. And of course, Xylo or Xylo. He doesn't like goddesses for some reason, but
right, which seems like an interesting mystery about why he would refuse, like in the midst of this huge battle where it's his own survival on the line, he's refusing to let this goddess make a contract with him, which would give him access to her powers and also let her unleash her own powers.
Yeah,
I guess he really didn't want to be sentenced to be a loli.
No.
Loli Khan, excuse me.
Loli
Important
Khan.
Difference.
Yeah. But yeah, she's kind of the typical like little little preteen girl that we see in a lot of anime, where she's like, you're like, oh, I'm doing great and all these things, and when I do these things for you, you have to praise me.
Yes, she's a very like stock character, but she's very cute.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think she is the right amount of how to put it. She is just about the right amount of sassy and cute for this type of character archetype.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are a few other members of the cast. I think my favorite over here was I forget this guy's name, but I wasn't quite sure. Was he actually a king, or was he just mad, like with like a Napoleon complex type thing?
I think he's nuts, or what? He's just very touched, and he thinks he's a king, but he's not really a king.
Right. And, so he's always barking orders and treating people like they're subservient.
Yeah, and the other heroes just kind of go along with it.
Right. Because what's the point of trying to talk the crazy man out of it?
Yeah.
And having a grandmother with dementia, it's much easier just to go along with whatever the premise is.
Yeah.
As of episode 2, which is as far as I saw, we have not seen most of these characters yet. She's not a hero. She is like a captain who I kind of got flashbacks to the pseudo romantic interest from Kaiju number 8, except that she and the hero actually interact more in this one, even if it's like not positive interactions.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see the similarities there. I was also kind of getting a little Urza Scarlet vibes from her too.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Just the same sort of tough, but still a little bit womanly
Yeah.
or feminine, I should say.
Yeah.
But trying not to let it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that as of the first couple episodes, this is a totally fine series. The animation, I think, is the main reason to watch it. I would have said the mystery would have been interesting to watch, but so you have a key question in this series, which is, well, why is a guy like this, who we're told was formerly a member of the same royal guard as the other characters, why was he sentenced to be a hero? What horrible crime did he commit?
Yeah.
Oh, it turned out that he killed a goddess. By the way, spoilers from this point on, because like what we saw there is like just the base premise.
Yeah.
Oh, this is amazing. What's going on here? Well, then the last 5 minutes of the first episode, which is an hour-long episode,
Yeah.
we discover that he killed his goddess because she was horribly wounded and there was no chance of saving her, so he wanted to spare her, but he was still sentenced to be a hero for killing a goddess, which are a rare commodity.
Yeah, and the court that he's in, which is what they jibbed for the lolicon bit, they he says that, well, the goddess says when they use up all their powers, they get infected with the demon blight, and they're like, oh, there's no proof of that. That's
Heresy.
Yes.
So I admit that some of what I was looking forward to for this series wasn't going to happen. Like I prefer the anime version of Trigun, where they don't spell out everything about Vash and Knives' backstory much more than the manga version, where he's like basically spelling out his backstory from chapter 1. Because that's the sort of thing where like it might have been nice to go, because like he's very hostile to this character who has an immediate interest in him. So it's like part of the fun of watching a character like this maybe thaw over the course of the series would be like, oh, stage 1, he's just kind of hostile. Stage 2, it turns out that she learns that he killed a goddess, which I believe that she finds out and is completely unbothered by, which seems weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, but that we can bring a little bit of character conflict out of her, find out that he killed a goddess, then he can explain why he killed the goddess. Or maybe he's gruff and refuses to explain further because he is trying to drive her away. Because the contract can only be broken once both sides agree to break it, but she stubbornly refuses to stick with him.
Yeah.
And then it's like you just progress and progress and progress. Now it's more just like it's just watching the. There's not a lot of intrigue left, unfortunately.
Yeah, the only intrigue is when he reveals that the whole reason that he had to kill the goddess was because he and his team or his squad got set up, and
right. Like a King David situation.
Yeah, and so he's got to figure out who set him up. That's his driving force for the series, which I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and there's like some corruption with the priest character and some of the military characters around. I suspect that our female captain over there is like, she seems to be a straight arrow, so I suspect that's like, she would end up disobeying orders to help them at some point. It's like a totally fine animation or anime fantasy series, and it's very refreshing. Like I haven't seen anything like it for a while. Like I wouldn't say it's necessarily pointed at adults, but just having an adult character for once is just refreshing.
Yeah. And so some 16-year-old brat.
Yeah, it's like how a friend and I have been watching. May I ask for one more thing? Is that what it's called? Yep. May I ask for one final thing? The anime. And I cannot tell you how startled I was when I found out that while it is an isekai, it's not the main heroine who was isekai'd.
Ah,
It's a secondary character who, as of about halfway through the first season, has still not really made her presence felt, which is interesting.
yeah.
So like that one also gets a recommend, just for being very different. Like maybe we're finally getting away from the era of cookie cutter isekai.
Let's hope. Yeah.
But yeah, as it is, like I don't think this is actually an isekai in any form. It's just
Yeah.
a fantasy anime which has become synonymous with isekai in the last 2 decades. So again, it's just kind of a refreshing change of pace. The animation is top notch. I think it's an interesting fantasy world. Um, I don't really have any complaints aside from again them dropping the mystery I was expecting to see unfold slowly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which sometimes I would say one of my bad habits as a viewer is that sometimes I will think I'm being promised story A and will get annoyed when instead it is story B,
Yeah.
and will hold that against them even when story B is perfectly fine.
Mm. I call it the Ryan Johnson effect.
Yeah, although whoever is behind this one is much smarter than Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But do you have any final thoughts?
Uh, no, not. I can't think of anything. Yeah, I think this is a pretty solid anime fantasy series. Be interesting to see where the story goes. I think I'll try to stick with it. Hopefully, hopefully it doesn't like fall off a cliff at some point with like
Which can always happen.
which can always happen. But yeah, let's see where it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to introduce this to my weekly anime group. So hopefully they don't ape out.
Harry and the Hendersons. I had actually never seen this movie before.
I had seen it as a child, but it's one of those movies where I must have seen it at the wrong age or right age, depending on your point of view.
Yeah.
Where just like I knew I liked it, but I had absolutely no memory whatsoever of it. Like I knew it had a big ape.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's a Sasquatch or Bigfoot, which DB, being the paleontology guy that you are, does Bigfoot exist?
Most likely not. Okay, so here's the nerdy thing about it.
Okay.
So an ape of that style would probably be something like a gorilla. So in the forests of most of North America, this isn't like the tropics, like in Africa, where you would have constant access to fruits and other things. Now, gorillas mostly eat leaves, but also they'd be competing with other animals for said leaves.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is that bears already kind of fill the niche that an ape would fill in a forest environment.
Yeah.
And apes kind of make do against bigger, angrier predators because they move in groups. But Bigfoot is usually portrayed as being a solo animal.
Yeah.
The other thing of it is that there's no, except for humans, there's no record of any apes making their way to North America whatsoever. There were primates at some point, but they were like lemur grade. And nowadays there's like a couple of monkeys in Central America, but that's it. So almost certainly no Bigfoot. If there was a population of them, it's gone now without leaving much of a trace. Because what do you know? Every time everybody claims to have, or somebody claims to have a body, that's just a rubber gorilla suit that you stuffed full of meat, or something like that.
Of course.
It's like how one of my favorite nature specials of all time was about the Loch Ness monster, and they basically spent like an hour going through all the reasons it could conceivably be there. It's like, oh, maybe a population of plesiosaurs survived the asteroid, and plesiosaurs can live in very cold water because we have fossils from the Antarctic, from the Cretaceous, and and there, up until recently there was a very large population of eels in Loch Ness, so they would have food to eat. And then at the very last minute they go, well, except the problem is that we now have cameras that can point at the loch at all times, and air-breathing creatures like plesiosaurs would eventually come up for air and be spotted.
Yeah. Yeah, and all those pictures of Loch Ness, like, oh, that's a log.
That's a small toy that they like. The famous one is a toy that they did, and what's funny is that if you look at it, you can tell that the ripples in the lake are way too big for something the size of a plesiosaur.
Yeah. But yeah. So, but to get back to Harry and the Hendersons, yeah. So the movie basically starts off.
Well, just to give a quick thing here. So this was made by Amblin Entertainment, and it really amuses me that the best way to describe this is E.T. with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I think the only real big name in here. Oh, okay. There's two big names in here. John Lithgow as George Henderson, the dad.
Yeah.
Which people might know him from Third Rock from the Sun, as Lord Farquaad.
Yeah.
And then the other one that my uncle actually pointed out to me when I was talking about this was Don Amici, one of the rich billionaires from Trading Spaces.
Yeah. I remember him. Yeah. Oh, and
right, the man in the suit.
Yeah, Kevin Peter Hall, who plays Harry, who also played the Predator in Predator. He was like 7 feet tall or something like that. He was a big guy.
Yeah, and that is some fine suit work. It's also just a fine suit, in my opinion. Like you could, it is not entirely lifelike, but for what is really a family movie that you can show to youngish children, it's a very well done suit. I'm sure that suit was most of the budget.
Yeah, I actually looked it up. Rick Baker did the suit, and he was one of these big makeup effects artists from like the 80s and 90s. He worked on a lot of movies in that time period. I think he did American Werewolf in London was one of his big ones, along with this and a few others. But no, yeah, the suits really was very well done. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, a minor rule. My uncle apparently used to work. It's just such a weird coincidence that I was in the car alone with my uncle while we were taking something to the dump, and I just happened to mention this movie. And apparently, he used to work for one of the local actresses in this one because it was filmed in the Seattle area. She was the woman in curlers who sees Harry and goes, "Ah!"
Actually, a couple of other actors I want to mention real quick. So the mom is played by Melinda Dillon, who was the mom in A Christmas Story.
Okay.
And the antagonist in the movie, the villain, is played by David Suchet, who he played Hercule Poirot in the BBC version of the character of all the Agatha Christie mysteries.
Okay, but with the Jacques Lafleur, which might be the most like Bob Johnson style name ever for a French character.
Yeah.
But okay, so movie has a very simple premise. John Lithgow plays George Henderson, an avid hunter who has a family of 4: him, his wife, his very enthusiastic young son, and his teenage daughter.
Yes. Yeah, and they're up in the mountains, camping and hunting, and of course they're driving along on the mountain roads, and then they end up hitting our titular Harry here, and
Right.
they
After a scene where the young boy had managed to kill a rabbit that they proceeded to have for their lunch.
yeah. Yeah, then and so they they run him over, and then they put him on the top of the car because they think he's dead, and but then he's not, he's still alive, and then they slam on the brakes and he flies off the roof, and they still think he's dead. So then so rather than like trying to find like the nearest park ranger or anything like that, they just put it on the top of their car, put it on the hood of their or the top of their station wagon, and go home. Leave it in the
Because, kid movie logic.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the hunter, Jacques Lafleur, had been hunting Bigfoot, and he's like, he is confused. The trail just vanished.
Yes. Well, then he finds their license plate on the road.
Yes, because that fell off in the scuffle.
Yeah. Yeah, because Jacques Lafleur is like obsessed with Bigfoot, and he of course he goes to Don Amici's character, who's this
Dr. Wallace Wrightwood.
Yeah, Dr. Wallace Wrightwood, who has his own little anthropology Bigfoot thing. Although at this point in his life, he's completely disillusioned and doesn't think Bigfoot is real. So he's just kind of like has this tourist trap.
He has gone full Grunkle Stan.
Yes. Yeah, and then of course the Hendersons are sleeping at night, and then lo and behold, Bigfoot, Harry is still alive and gets into the house, and of course proceeds to trash the whole place as a creature like that would, who a gentle giant who doesn't understand his own strength and doesn't realize and his own size and everything. So.
Yep. The other thing I noticed is that this movie has a very anti-hunting slant.
Oh, yes.
Because Harry is very much a pacifist. So he finds a deer head on the wall, and he reaches out, pets the deer head. Then he realizes that the deer isn't moving. Then there's the sad scene where he looks around the corner and sees that there is no deer body around the corner, and he flips out.
Yeah.
Or it's like they try to feed him some hamburgers and he refuses it, but he will eat a fillet of fish.
Yeah. Yeah, he's at first they say he's a vegetarian, but I think he's more pescatarian.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which actually, for a Bigfoot living in the Great Northwest, that isn't an unrealistic diet for it to have.
Yeah. Yeah, and so so basically the rest of the movie is the Hendersons trying to figure out what to do with Harry. Do they keep him
hidden? Oh no, he wandered off. We have to get him back. How do we keep him safe from the hunters?
Yeah, keep him safe from the general population, because of course he starts getting spotted by everybody, and he's all over the news, and everybody starts buying guns.
Yeah, which that's where Lithgow's character was working with at his dad's gun shop.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's I think it's a cute 80s movie, I would say.
Well, early 90s, but basically the 80s.
Yeah. Well, it's 80.
Was it 80 something? I thought this was 90.
80.
Okay. Yeah. I got into my head this was 1991 for some reason. My bad.
The TV show version.
Oh, that's right. You were showing me that.
Yeah. They did a TV show of this.
I had never heard of it. It's currently available on Tubi if you want to give that a shot.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Different cast of characters or different actors playing the parts, but yeah.
Yeah, but I
Oh,
could I could totally see why they would think of this as like the pilot of a TV or a TV movie pilot.
yeah, yeah,
You've made the suit, why not?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Get some use out of it. Um, but yeah, I mean, the performances were decent enough. I mean, I should say, Lithgow always is,
Yeah, he
always.
carries this movie.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, and he's one of those actors who can do comedy and drama very well. Both of them. He can work in both genres really well.
Yep. Also, there were quite a few just funny bits where, like, you have one bit where Jacques Lafleur just realized that he can go down to the DMV and ask for the Hendersons address. He's like just very tickled at how easy it is.
Yeah, it's America.
And just lots of little funny moments with Lithgow and the family. So, like,
Yeah,
and each character is like they're a very stock character, but they're also very believable in their own way.
yeah. The other funny bit I thought was funny was when Harry's watching TV and
Mhm.
he's watching old movie with Ronald Reagan, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. Uh, it was he plays like a professor who takes in a chimp or something. I can't remember. What's the name of that movie?
I don't know.
Bedtime for Bonzo. Um, but yeah, and then he's watching the Addams Family.
Yep. Yeah, and also like Harry himself is very charismatic. We praised the suit before. The face is where is what makes it. It's just very expressive.
Yeah,
You don't have to doubt what this dumb animal is thinking, or smart animal, as the case may be.
yeah, yeah. Yes, he's smarter than you think, but not quite. But at
Right.
the level of a human. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
But yeah, I would say that as far as things I give like tepid praise today. This would be the one I would probably choose over the Rip unless you're in the mood for an action movie,
mm,
because I think that this one is like it's not smarter, but it's like it's more punchy. Like it's got more of what I often look for, which is like clever dialogue or whatnot.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Trying to think of another. If there were any other parts of the movie that stood out to me. Um, I guess I guess just kind of to date the movie, how like word starts to get around about Harry being in the city. You know, I don't know if you could do that today, because if you have it set today, like with everybody having cell phones, it would just like kind
Right,
of
he'd be
kill the
found
illusion. Yeah, kill the illusion.
right found so fast. For that matter, there'd be enough security cameras on every building that he would be found quickly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the other part of it too is their next door neighbor who's just like like the typical nosy nosy neighbor who's just like constantly has to be in your business.
Yep. Which, of course, is a perfect stock character for this sort of oh, we have to keep this secret a secret storyline.
Yeah, yeah. We got a question here if we believe in the Sasquatch. Go back and watch earlier. We kind of got into it, but short answer is no.
Right. If I would say that at this point, if there was a creature roughly the size of a bear wandering around the Pacific Northwest, we would have found it by now. Just because it's not like bears themselves are a mystery. Like at some
Right.
point, a hungry Sasquatch would have wandered into town and been spotted clearly, especially in this era with cameras. Now, like
Yeah.
200 years ago, would have been much more uh, practical, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we are not believers.
No. No.
No offense to you if you are, but
Yeah. Just don't. Yeah. No. No, he's up there with Loch Ness and you know.
Now, of course, the counter argument is, well, there's the photo of him right there.
Oh yeah.
What you think they made a suit for Kevin Peter Hall to wander around in?
Yeah.
Nah, it was much cheaper to trap a rare forest animal.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I've been to East Texas. I don't recall ever seeing a Sasquatch in East Texas. Okay. I get it now. Okay, never mind. I get what you're saying, dude.
Okay, that's going over my head. Is that like a regional reference or?
Yeah, big hairy guys. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. That's yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think this movie, you know, it's definitely a good family friendly movie to watch, and you know, and I'm sure if you watch this in the as a child, I'm sure you'll have some nostalgia for it. Yeah. Sam Houston National Park. No, I've never been to Sam Houston National Park.
Yeah, and I've only done like a brief flyover through Texas, so again, like I never try to be definitive about anything, but with the evidence I've seen, I don't think it's real. But hey, it would be a much more interesting world if we woke up tomorrow and they like announced it.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I'd say give this movie a watch if you haven't already, or if you want to watch it again. It's currently on Netflix.
And the TV show, if you want to give that a shot, is on Tubi.
Yes. Well, I think we've said all we need to say for tonight.
Agreed.
All right, well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it as always. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Ring the bell, buy some books. Links are in the description down below. And no show next week because I'm taking a little vacation. But we will see you in 2 weeks. So, night, everybody.
Good night.